So our lead this hour, we'll start right at the top with the NFL. We continue our breathless, second-by-second coverage, monitoring the latest developments in the never-ending saga involving everyone's favorite predator, Deshaun Watson. That's right, the gift that keeps giving, Deshaun Watson. So what happened? What are the latest developments that have taken place since we last chatted at the end of last week? Well, the $230 million man of the Cleveland Browns continues to be floating around, scalding hot water at this particular point. So the very up to the second list, perhaps you missed it, over the weekend here, a holiday weekend, a long weekend, someone named Kim Ogg, we're not sure who that is, but apparently she is the top law enforcement official there in Harris County, Texas, where many of Deshaun Watson's massages took place. This woman did an interview. It popped up over the weekend, and she said the lack of a grand jury indictment is not an exoneration of Deshaun Watson. Quote, people, even when they clear the criminal justice system, Ogg stated, often face accountability and repercussions in other parts of our legal system, close quote. Now, she also went on to say that in this case, you're going to have to wait and see how it all comes out on the civil side of things and then through the NFL on the administrative side. So that comes amid reports that the person in charge of Harris County there, the top law enforcement official there, the district attorney, that she gave preferential treatment to Rusty Hardin. Now, I'm not there, and neither are you, but based on the reporting, the chatter is that the two sides had worked hand in hand together to achieve the desired outcome, which was the grand jury not coming back with charges and approving charges against Deshaun Watson. Now, as anticipated, she claimed, the person in charge here, Kim Ogg, that it's all total normal activity, nothing odd to see here, nothing to worry about. Okay, then. So let us discuss the question. What do you make of the reports that the DA worked with Deshaun Watson's legal team to influence the outcome, the desired outcome of the grand jury? So I've got Hollywood studio executive, goalposts, and playing cards. And we will combine all three of these random things together, and we are going to make banana cream pie, the king of the pies, the banana cream pie. We need to make that. We have not made that in a long time, one of my sources tell me. So we're going to make banana cream pie. So listen, there was some funny business going on. How deep the funny business went, I don't know. But just based on the circumstantial information that we have, that it does not smell particularly great. It does not. The more information that's come out, the more questionable a lot of this looks. It appears that the prosecutors decided, the district attorney decided to, for some reason, withhold information from the grand jury. That's based on the New York Times report and some other stories that have popped up here. Now, since the district attorney, you got to look at it like this. Think of them like the Hollywood studio executive. Big blockbuster movie comes out. You're the Hollywood studio executive. What does that mean? That means you get the privilege of having the final edit. The final edit privilege goes to you. You decide what goes in and what goes out. And in this case, the district attorney decided what got in, more importantly, what was left on the cutting room floor, and the evidence that would have helped to lead to an indictment against Watson. Now, keep in mind, generally speaking, it's pretty simple to get an indictment. So the fact that there was no indictment here is pretty damning, considering that most of the time it's just a fait accompli that you get the indictment. But why would the district attorney do that? Like, why would the accusation even be there at all? It doesn't make sense. What money? Was there any money exchanged for preferential treatment? You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Were donations made either above the table or underneath the table? And we may never know. Or we may know everything. Who knows? The way the world is today, right? I mean, some whistleblower could come out and spill the beans on everything. But it just does not pass the test. It does not. Very cozy relationship between the district attorney and Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin. Good old Rusty. And a reminder that when you have a lot of money and you can hire an attorney like Rusty Hardin, who, at least from the outside, looks like he's in the back pocket of the district attorney, that's money well spent. And it makes you wonder what's really going on. Now, part B of this. Do you agree with the spin coming out of the Harris County District Attorney office there on this Deshaun Watson case? So absolutely not. Now, you talk about going off the reservation. That's what's going on here. Like, there was some shady stuff going on. And I keep going back to the evidence that was left out, and it certainly gives the appearance here that there were ulterior motives in play. And realizing that people are, on to the games, the district attorney that's moving the goalposts a little bit, because people are starting to snoop around here. And she implied in this latest interview that Watson's justice will happen in civil court, or the NFL punishment wing will ding Deshaun Watson for his massages gone bad. But see, that does not really pass go, right? Where I am, it doesn't pass go. These things are separate from a criminal grand jury. And as for the statement that was made by Kim Ogg of Harris County there in Texas, everyone is given the presumption of innocence. Right? It is a legal principle that every person accused of any crime is considered innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, the argument, well, Watson, you got to give him he's not innocent. The exact quote here from Kim Ogg, that do not confuse what happened here with a exoneration. Right, the grand jury indictment is not an exoneration. That was the quote from the district attorney herself there in this interview. But I go back to the presumption of innocence. And so, therefore, Watson is innocent in the eyes of the law because he hasn't been convicted of any charges in criminal court. Now, the standards are different in civil court, but in terms of the court of public opinion, Watson is the lowest of the low, vermin at this point. But he still got the $230 million, so what's the big deal? Now, the last word here. So, thumbs up or thumbs down to the NFL suspending Deshaun Watson indefinitely until the civil suits are resolved. So I am giving this 2 thumbs up. I've heard a lot of chatter that this is going to be a 1-year suspension. That is the popular opinion by popular people. But that's not what should happen. I disagree with the popular opinion. Based on what I have seen, the move here, if the NFL, I don't even know if the NFL really cares. They put up a good front, but if they really care about this, then it's an indefinite punishment. Right? It's in the deck of playing cards from the personal conduct policy, which is a whole different can of worms that we can talk about at another time here. But you can pull that card from the deck of playing cards here. Pull it from the top. It's right there on the top. And it's all laid out on the table. The NFL can suspend Watson for a specific number of games, like 10, 16, 17, whatever it might be, or indefinitely. They can also banish him from the league with a chance to apply for reinstatement, the lifetime punishment with a shot at reinstatement. But the logical conclusion would be an open-ended suspension until all these civil cases are resolved. Now, keep in mind, that is not going to happen until early 2023 as of right now. Everything got pushed to the back burner until early 2023, March of 2023, after the NFL season, about a month after the Super Bowl. Not that the Browns will be in the Super Bowl, but nonetheless, about a month after that. Other cases, though, also will be delayed even further. So the argument for an indefinite suspension is that Watson can then go right into court and go through the civil trials and try to reach a conclusion as soon as possible. But because of the delay here, we're now talking at the earliest, as of now, sometime likely in late 2023 or 2024, possibly even beyond that, because the window is still open until March of next year for further lawsuits to be filed and there's apparently an endless amount of possible lawsuits that are out there. So whatever punishment is handed down, Watson is going to guarantee, he's all but guaranteed to appeal. So you've got that. You got to go through the appeal process and whatnot. And then it is a wild setup the NFL's got here. Wild and crazy setup the NFL has when it comes to the punishment and who gets punished and who doesn't get punished and why they get punished, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.